There we go. Yep, there we go. Oh, where's the camera? That's the one over there I'm looking at. Hey, show. Good morning, Business Athlete Nation. Monday morning here on the long weekend in Canada. We're coming up on an August 5th. Keith Bilous, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. See Marty Fit sitting in the green room. John Anderson sitting in the green room, patiently waiting to come into the lab. We got a big show today, Nation. We are here to talk about pushing through resilience. It's Monday. Many of you have those Sunday scaries, and we're now into Monday, and you're sitting back going, oh, my God, I got to tackle today. Oh, my God, it's a tough day in front of me. Oh, my God, it's a tough number of days ahead of me. Or, oh, I'm trying to hit a goal, and I don't know how to get through it. The magic is called resilience. John Anderson, C. Marty Fit, and myself, we're going to dig into that big R topic today, resilience, and what you need to do to help you dig through those tough moments. And, of course, we are going to talk about ways that you can live a better life lessons from the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, you know that guy. Yeah, he's lifted a few heavy things in his life and put them down. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is not joining us in the lab today, but his book, his concepts, and his ideas are. And myself and John and C. Marty are going to break those down. But before we go any further, I think I need to add these two yahoos to the stage. What's going up, gents?
Good morning.
What up?
Hey, good morning. Good to see you guys this morning. Great morning to see you guys this morning. It is a Monday morning, Mornings in the Lab, the ultimate accountability show, the show nation to get everybody's ass to the bed and get everybody going. And guys, we have this morning, of course he's here.
Enzo.
That's
What up,
it.
Enzo?
What's up, Enzo? So Enzo's birthday has officially ended in New Zealand, but he has friends in Canada and the States, including his friends here on Mornings in the Lab in North America, who will continue to celebrate his birthday. So Enzo, happy birthday, my friend. Congratulations on your birthday weekend ending in New Zealand and starting here in North America. I hope you had a great birthday weekend, Enzo. Look forward to hearing all about it throughout the show here today. Boys, how was your weekend? C. Marty Fit, Christopher Martin. How was your weekend, pal?
It was pretty good, man. Got to relax.
You
Hit
didn't
a housewarming.
relax. You didn't relax.
Oh no, I relaxed for sure.
Yeah.
Hit a housewarming, and that was it, man. Did my podcast.
Nice. How about you, Mr. Anderson? Mr. Anderson, I got a question for you, actually. I was thinking about you this weekend. I was. How was your weekend? And then I'm going to get into my curiosity questions. But how was your weekend, pal?
It was good. You know, I'm a big connoisseur of not really registering the day. Of course,
Yes.
I know it's the weekend, but I mean, my days are very similar, and they're similar because I want them to be that way. And that's the element I think that's in many cases people miss. You know, they're just digging through Monday to Friday to get to Saturday because they don't have to do what they did Monday to Friday. And then they go through this whole thing we're talking about today, the Sunday tears of going back to work.
Yes.
Thank goodness I don't subscribe to that life.
Yes. It's incredible, John. There are many that, and I want to show some compassion and empathy on the show right now because there's many that wake up that go through Sunday, Marty and John, and they look at the calendar. They're like, oh my goodness, it's Sunday afternoon, it's Sunday evening, and their anxiety rolls up, right? And their anxiety rolls into their evening. Their anxiety rolls into Monday morning. And Nation, if you're one of those humans, I really cannot encourage you to show up for our show daily so we can help you through that. Because I want to tell you guys something. I've been there with you. Been there. I've had those Sunday scaries. I've had those Monday, oh my goodness moments, right? And we're gonna get into those. We're gonna get into the discussion of resilience today. We're gonna kind of tap into John's, concepts and thoughts around how Thursday is no different than Sunday, how it's no different than a Monday or Tuesday. Maybe there's some ways we can help you guys through that. But I've had those emotions, John and Marty, and they're horrible, man. They're really horrible.
Well, the thing about it, I think what we got to uncover here is this Sunday fright, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
It's power. This is the thing that will allow you to do some new things to change the trajectory of your path of life. When you're uncomfortable, when you have that feeling in your gut, you're willing to do what you wouldn't do when you're comfortable.
Yes. So, Anderson, I got a question for you. I know Sundays are the same as Mondays, are the same as Wednesdays and Thursdays for you, and I have a lot of respect for that philosophy, a lot of respect for that mindset. So, when you're out and about, though, so you're out with Tara, you're hanging out, you're out with the daughters, you're being a dad.
Yeah.
And you guys are out just maybe doing some nostalgic stuff through America. You're hanging out, just doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
When you get to the ice cream shop, John, true story here. When you get to the ice cream shop and the girl's like, yeah, Dad, let's have some ice cream. Like either be relatable or be vulnerable or just, or feed me a bunch of crap. You're in the ice cream shop. Are you digging it to have some ice cream, pal? Or are you saying, no, it doesn't fit because it's not into my routine?
No. Well, that's a great question. When they were younger, yes, right. When they were, we would go to what we call, it was like a yogurt shop.
Yeah.
And I made sure that they had a product there that was basically for diabetics. I'm not diabetic, but I didn't want to pollute my system with sugar because bottom line is chemicals and all this stuff. So, if we're going to, where we're going to draw the line. So, but now as they're adults, yes, they just understand who I am. We'll go out to dinner, we'll do our thing, but they're not going to try to drag me to an ice cream shop. I mean, if they said, hey, I want ice cream, I'll go sit with them. I'll have, a diet soda, whatever. But yes, it's people understand who I am. When they were kids, I have a lot more flexibility. Now that they're adults, that's it. This is the way I am. And I don't ask them to do things that I know they don't want to do when we're hanging out. So it's kind of an even trade.
Yeah, I respect that. And I was curious about that because I know that there are many listening right now, John, Marty, that would be curious how you manage that, or be curious how do you set examples for children when you're out and about at the restaurant, and some would say, John, just be a dad, man. Go crush the burgers and fries with your kids. Now, hold on, I'm going to defend you.
Dad bod.
Yeah, exactly, Marty. Now, I will defend John and say, well, no, but I don't. I'm going to go for drinks with my buddies. I don't want to have a beer. I just want to have a Coke. No, Keith, you got to drink beer. No, I actually just prefer to have a Coke and have some water.
Grow up.
Well, I got to dive on this one. I got to dive on this one. My apologies, but let's define what a good dad is. Is a good dad someone who doesn't live the life? I don't want them to go eat shit, so they're not going to watch me eat shit. Let me be real straight. I mean, I raised 3 beautiful girls, and they're all they're really, really solid people. For any parent listening, your kids don't give a damn what you say. They give a damn what you do.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, you're going to tell them to do X, Y, Z. If you're not doing it, you just wasted your breath.
Yes. Yeah. No, well said, John. That's so I asked because yesterday, Lauren and I went out to some family yesterday, and we stopped at a little nostalgic place for some fries and a burger and so forth. And it's funny, John, Marty, I was very restrictive for the longest time, and I felt it was harming me. So I've loosened up the restrictions, and I eat more than I ever have, and so forth. And not looking to gain the big back, Marty or John, but I sometimes get curious because I know when we wake up, we try to make ourselves relatable. We try to help people who are listening to the show get nuggets, get techniques, and get tips. And what you said, John, I want to hang on to, right? Which is, we're teaching our kids things, and society teaches kids something else. And society's like, yeah, go have the milkshake full of sugar. And it's our responsibility as parents saying, actually, no, maybe we don't want to have the milkshake full of sugar.
Well, and keep in mind, if you want to go out to a burger and fries, there's plenty of places where you go get a really good grass-fed burger. You can get some sweet potato fries that are not deep fried. So you can go have this food. The problem is, most people are doing it in and out. They're doing it at these places where it's borderline food. If you were to look at the chemicals in a Big Mac, you would just be floored.
Yes, I like taking a page out of Marty's book. What is it, Marty? You don't have an eating disorder. You have a what?
Oh, you don't have an eating disorder. You just keep ordering this order, this order, this order, and this order.
It's just a disorder. Order disorder. Order dad order. Order disorder. Dad order. Yeah.
It took me a second to catch that one, honestly. I was sitting there going, okay, it's going to make sense in just a second. So I went for a drink of water, buy myself a little time to figure that out.
Hey, John's still learning, Keith. He's still learning.
That's it. Cindy Gorman popping up. That's a cool concept. It is. It's making choices, right? It's making choices and showing our kids, and and one meal, one moment at a time, right? And what you're hearing me say, nostalgia, is don't take your kids for burgers. Don't take your kids for fries. Don't take your kids for ice cream. Just there are alternative choices as we hit the world. Yesterday was the ice cream shop, guys, and they had ice cream, They had oat milk flavored stuff. They had almond milk flavored stuff. They had dairy-free flavored stuff. The point is, Nation, we have choices, right? And that's what John is saying too, and Marty's saying. We have choices, and it's really up to us to make those choices. Enzo popping out. Hey, Enzo, I was wondering the same thing, actually. So,
Man, my desk and my chair got stolen. What? So now I'm going through some stuff with FedEx and Wayfair.
They got stole off your front porch?
Nah, man. So I live in an apartment, and they I guess the FedEx people got lazy, and they put it in the mail room instead of bringing it to my door. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with now.
And somebody swiped it in the mail room?
Yeah.
What's up? Is it a mail room where they're supposed to leave mail? Supposed to be secure?
Supposed to bring it to my door.
I don't even know what to say to that.
It sounds like an inside job, brother. You better start investigating who looks over the mailroom.
Crazy.
Man. More than a lab with Keith C, Marty Fit, and John Anderson. We are digging into Marty's theft problems in Maryland. No, I learned on Friday from Nick here. It's not Maryland, it's Merlin.
Merlin.
I'm the Canadian.
There you go.
Goodness gracious.
I'm the Canadian guy trying to figure crap out. Hey, did you boys check the Olympics out this weekend at all? There's Olympics on right now.
You know, I don't really watch television. If I'm going to watch something, it's going to be something that's going to program my brain with really good, positive stuff. Not that it's wrong to watch the Olympics. I just prefer to have something that's going to continue to train my brain to think the way I want to think. Yeah.
Marty, you watch the Olympics?
I caught some of the highlights.
Yeah. I only asked because, John, we grew up in an era when the Olympics were on, they're on, the three channels we had, and that's all you watched, right?
Yeah.
I find it really different now in a world of always on media and always on content. It's so, by the time you sit down and John, Marty, like yourself, I haven't sat down and watched TV for months now, but last night, Laura and I were like, hey, let's go. Since we're in nostalgia, let's go pull the nostalgia and go through the Olympics on. I had it on the TV and I was doing some work and had it on in the background there, but it just seems different, doesn't it? It just seems different than it did.
It used to be a family affair. I remember everyone sitting down watching the Olympics. As a kid, I didn't have TV, but they had one and they kept it deep in their closet. They would pull it out for special occasions like that. So, hell, it didn't make a difference what we were watching. I was going to sit my ass in front of that thing.
Yeah. There you go. Coming up in a couple minutes, Jimmy, we're gonna jump into the accountability spotlight, Jimmy. But before we do that, I want to throw some stuff on the table this morning for the boys. So, gents, I was reading this morning during my morning coffee session that according to Microsoft's Q4 24 earnings report, video now consists as the fastest growing format on LinkedIn. Wow. The platform, get this number, guys. The platform has seen an increase of 30%. Let's try that again. Yeah. Platform has seen a 34% increase in video uploads year over year, with 1.5 million pieces of content shared every minute on the platform.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I bring it up, Nation, for a couple of reasons. If you're tuning in right now, and if LinkedIn is not necessarily part of your social strategy, I cannot strongly invite you to consider it. LinkedIn has just under 1 billion people on it. It is not the LinkedIn that we all grew up with. It's very different than what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. I cannot encourage you enough to get there, get some video on the platform, and watch it perform. I drop 3-4 videos a day, Nation. There are some days I have 120 minutes of video watching on 1 minute video. So let's just pause on that. I will take 1 minute out of my day, drop it onto the platform, and I will accumulate up to 120 minutes of people watching my 1 minute. And sometimes it's me petting my dogs. No, I didn't say petting my dog. I said petting my dogs. Speaking of, we're going to talk about what we're gonna segue to this one.
I'm slow this morning, man.
I didn't get that one either.
I mean, thank God if you were behind me, I don't feel so bad today, brother. Because yours, I was searching for yours.
That is worse than the Polish joke.
No, I got a better one for you, Marty. Then, because hey, what happens, men?
Oh God,
what happens, men, to your body when you stop becoming the master of your domain after the age of 50?
Is that like saying, what if you don't pet your dog after 50? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, there's children listening right now, John. So
well, we're talking about pets here, aren't we?
Talking about petting your dog.
Unless you shave your pet, we're talking about pets here. Come on, Marty. Oh, you got to roll back. You got to roll out of the screen. That tells me it was a good one.
What are we doing?
Coming up.
What are we doing?
Coming up after the accountability check-in. Nation, what happens to your body when you become the master of your domain after the age of 50? There's actually a scientific proof. And John, I'm telling you, man, we have these young men tuning into you and I, and they're wondering, going, okay, well, I see John in his 50s, see Bilous in his 50s. Like, what happens if I continue exploring my body after the age of 50?
Well, that's a doozy. I mean, first off, I'm thinking to myself, why the hell did you wait till 50? That's my first thought.
And then I got another one too, Nation. Men should
look at Marty. He's like he's folded up. He's having a hard time with this.
So we know we are creating. Listen, Nation, we're trying to create a show where you guys get up and you ask yourselves, what the hell are these boys talking about next? What the hell's going on in a moment? And what the hell's coming up in 5 moments from now? And then 5 moments from now, we might even dig into a topic that says something along the lines of men should eat these foods for an orgasm-friendly diet. Yes. There's actually foods, Nation.
Marty, look straight ahead. Don't look away from this stuff.
Because I'm telling you, Nation, we know who our audience is, Marty. Our audience are all these young men going, oh my goodness, I'm growing up one day. I'm going to be big and strong and smart like Keith, and big and strong and smart like John. So what do I need to do? So we're going to give some tips coming up in a couple moments after the accountability check-in. And of course, we have Kano and Sano joining us from Hawaii, the Schofield Barracks. Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Keith and Marty love when Hawaii joins the show. We had Johnny. We had somebody from Hawaii join the show a few months back, and Marty, I think they were like in the past. It was so far back.
It's early. It's 5:19 for me. He's 3 hours before me, so we're talking. It's 2:19. We're doing that.
It's so true. It's so true.
2:19 in the morning right now.
I know. Inan joins us. What's up, motivator? Keith, Coach Marty, and Sir John. I love that. Waited too much for the live show. 2 days just passing. Oh, Nam, you're awesome, man. I love. You know what, brother? You bring me energy. When I see your comments in the feed, I know that you're going to bring positivity. I know you're going to drop some cool words. And the fact that you've already named our co-host Sir John is just like, what? Right to the top of the pile, just the Sir, right off the bat here. And then, of course, we got the Real Deal Prime popping in with Sup Studs. No, it's actually Sup Stud. I'm the stud. We got John and Marty with me there, so we'll leave that there. And, of course, we got A-Tours with Marty's we're going to make Marty speechless this morning. And, of course, we got A-Tours with I Love John. And I'm wondering if Enzo has any comments. Oh, Enzo's still taking in the conversation, boys, around being the master of your domain and wondering what kind of foods we need to eat. So we're going to get that in a few minutes. And of course, we have we got some concepts from Arnold Schwarzenegger joining the show today, how to live a better life. And we're going to dig into some resilience. But Jimmy, let's do this. Let's jump into the accountability check-in so we can continue our discussion around things that will help men be better. And then we're going to get into our topics with the Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. So let's do this. Boom. Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's time for a pee, Johnny. All right. It's Monday. There are some of you right now going, I hate the fact that it's Monday. Some of you tuning in right now going, oh my God, rolling over and regretting the feelings you're having right now. I'm going to offer this to you right now. We all, except for John, we all experience those days. They just start wrong and they leave you feeling empty and useless. By the time you go to bed, these days, they just suck. But nation, they're also the most valuable days that we have, because these days these days are the days that you don't learn resilience or grow and things are going smooth. It's not about learning how to fail. No. It's about failing spectacularly and still showing up the next day. You know what I mean? You know, we've all done those stupid things. You showed up unprepared, not like today. Texted the wrong person, hit reply all at the wrong time. Oy. Did and said things that we still regret. And in those moments we do those things, we learn two things. We learn who has your back, right, David Sowers? And we learn how to laugh at ourselves. Building resilience, nation. It's just not about creating thick skin. It's learning the art of quick recovery. That's what resilience is. It's not a badge of honor. It's a life skill. Building resilience is a life skill. You master it, and nothing, and I mean nothing, can keep you down for long. So as you're sitting here listening to my voice, start your day here on the Monday after the Sunday scaries, embrace my words, embrace those feelings of you have, those feelings of angst, and recognize that what you're doing right now is you're teaching yourself. You're teaching yourself that nothing is going to keep you down forever. That's the accountability check-in. Today on Monday, August 5th. Johnny.
Yes.
All right. We are going to keep our challenging discussion happening this morning, guys. We're going to dig into this. So, guys, in my readings today, I was doing some reading, and I found, John, that men should be eating these foods for a diet that helps with, listen, here's the headline. Men should eat these foods for an orgasm-friendly diet. So, Johnny, men need zinc. Men need calcium.
Real quick, let's just make sure everybody understands that Viagra and Cialis are not food groups.
Oh, they're not? Oh,
No.
man. I thought that was protein. It's creatine.
Why it's important to pay attention to these, it turns out that you can also eat your way to a good orgasm, at least according to experts. In fact, one of the natural ways that men can boost their orgasms is by eating some proper foods, guys.
But let me ask a quick question here. Is there such a thing as a bad orgasm?
Well, actually, perhaps there is. Yes, perhaps there is, Johnny. Maybe there is. Maybe as you get older in life, maybe it just changes.
I think people need to be grateful.
Oh, people need to be grateful that they can have an orgasm.
Just be grateful that they just knocked one off, man. I mean, that's a beautiful thing, no matter where it happens, no matter how it happens. It's a beautiful part of life.
So, men, put the high-fat foods aside. If you enjoy having sex with your partner, if you enjoy, culminating in an extremely awesome orgasm, put the fatty burgers aside. Put those. They
said it's better. They said it's better when you're fat, though.
Is it better when the fat?
That's what I heard.
We're going with the people say thing.
People say that. Yeah,
I got to tell you what. Generally speaking, I'm not taking advice from people because people are not doing it the way I want to do it.
So here is that what it is?
Well, so
right now, if I had a button, this would be really good. But they still haven't given me a button yet.
No, we still haven't given John a button.
We're working on it.
I think they're doing it on purpose,
No, we're working on it. But they that's like one of the rebuttals I get. When I'm trying to help people get in shape, they're like, well, they say such and such does it better, and I think that's just a bad.
And the rebuttal to that is if people know how to do it, why in the hell are they still having the problems they're having?
Oh, man. We are talking about men. We are talking about orgasm-friendly foods for men. Men, if you are looking to have a better performance in the bedroom, you're going to want to tap into some zinc.
Hold on. Forgive me. Are we talking better performance or we're talking a bigger orgasm? Because you can separate those two pretty easily. You can perform like a mad dog and not even have one.
We're talking
I mean, we gotta get this. We gotta understand what we're talking about here. Are we talking about throwing down? Or are we talking about the tail end of getting over the mountaintop?
We're talking sex ed with John Anderson. We're talking about the best. We're talking about how men should eat these foods for an orgasm-friendly diet. And what we're learning, gentlemen, is that zinc is one of the most important minerals when it comes to a man's sex life. Johnny, Marty, it boosts testosterone levels. It improves blood flow to those organs. And it also is involved in sperm production.
Interesting.
So foods like oysters, seafood, red meat, poultry, nuts, beans, whole grain, cereals, and dairy contain zinc. Additionally, while calcium is great for the bones, no, I didn't say boner, I said bones, it also helps with muscle and nerve function during sexual release. So calcium-rich foods include seeds, sardines, canned salmon, yogurt, leafy greens, beans, lentils.
Kind of sounds like you're talking about a healthy diet.
Is it was so, John? That exactly why I wanted to weave this into the discussion today.
But that's boring.
Yeah, right. But I'm trying to weave boring back to what guys like to do, and I'm trying to weave boring back into fun. What guys like to do. So, gentlemen, if you want to have some great sex with your partner, eat healthy. Eat healthy, because it's only going to help you get those vitamin D. Get the vitamin B into your body. Vitamin B is going to help you ease stress, boost energy levels. Other orgasm-friendly nutrients, Marty and John, include vitamin C, folate, healthy fats, allicin, right? So, guys, get healthy foods into your body. And if you talk about some of the emerging cultures that are happening around us, you may have heard of some of the benefits of ginseng tea or ashwagandha that can supposedly help a man with his sexual health. So, guys,
real quick, brother, just to make sure that we're not alienating people who don't have a partner. So if you're going to go about this drill all by yourself, it's going to still work for you.
Yes, it absolutely was. Well, and that's the point. It's that I saw this article. It's like I read through those guys. This is just the ultimate kind of contradictory conversation to this morning's first talk about going for burgers and fries. Burgers and fries are great, but if you want to go have some sex with your partner, go and eat some good old healthy foods, because that is going to help you get in the right direction. But I'll tell you, so get the healthy food in your body, guys. Healthy food is going to help you with a healthy situation in your bedroom. Enzo's coming in with, this is ridiculous biology lesson at 12:30 parts of. Yes, that's exactly it. Hey, Enzo, we know who our audience is. So we are, we have a JMC expert loving our streams. I appreciate that as well. So there is we have Anam coming in with, stay away from processed foods.
Yes.
Processed foods will kill you.
I mean, just eliminate processed foods from your diet, and that will make such a massive change. Just that one simple thing.
Yes. And Nam's coming in with impressed by how we look. Of course. Thank you. So let's see here. We also have. I also want to dig into. All right, going to come up here. I'm going to come up here on this topic here. Where's my notes here? All right, so coming to the bottom of the hour, Jimmy, we are going to dig into the creator spotlight here in a second. Then I'm going to come back to something else here I want to laugh with you guys about before we dig into our Arnold Schwarzenegger tips on how to live a good life through the lens of Arnold Schwarzenegger. 77 rules for success brought to us by the man Arnold. But before we do that, guys, I wanted to Jimmy, let's get into the creator spotlight. I know we've been somewhat weak with doing that here lately with the creator spotlight, and I wanted to dig back into that today. And Marty and John, the creator spotlight is something where we take somebody over on LinkedIn and we're going to expand out to the other platforms and shine the light on some work that somebody's doing really good. And I stumbled upon somebody yesterday on the feeds, which on the face of it, you're like, wow, that's a story. And then when you dig into it, you're like, whoa, I think I need to know more about this fellow. And the story that caught me, guys, is it starts out like this. His hook was, this fella had to resign from several jobs because I had caregiving responsibilities. Now, this one's going to tug on the heartstrings, gents, but in a positive way. His partner has rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia. She's had to learn to walk twice in recent years.
Wow.
One of the jobs he had to leave because they weren't very cooperative with him saying, I have to take care of my spouse. And this fellow has lost and has had to change jobs a number of times because of employers not offering or not wanting to offer the flexibility that he requires to take care of his significant other. So, you know what he decided to do? He's like, to hell with all of you. To hell with all of you employers that are not going to be flexible and not going to be dynamic and not want to help me out. So he started his own business. And he now is on a mission, guys, to create more inclusive workspaces for working dads and male caregivers. Dads, unpaid caregiver, and the founder. So this guy here, and Jimmy, I'm going to flip him on the screen here on the vertical screen here, Jimmy. But I'm thoroughly impressed by this man. His name is, I need to pull this up here. Hold on a second here, guys. This guy is like, my wife is not being taken. I need to take care of my wife. So he's like, I'm going to take care of her. So I want to shine the light on this fellow right here. And his name is Andrew Shepard. Andrew, dude, I cannot say enough how impressed I was when I read your comments and your content around how, like, to hell with the rest of the world. I am going to go and focus on my wife, and I'm going to help others who are in the same situation as I am. And here's a picture of Andrew with his partner Joanne, and he's like, he had no flexibility, no support, so it's like, I'm just going to do it myself. So he decided to start his own business. At the same time, he became a proud advocate for workplace flexibility for everyone. Now he has the flexibility and the support his family needs while also helping others. I wanted to call this out here, Nation, because if you're an employer that is struggling with providing the flexibility to your staff, your teammates, your colleagues, first of all, I'm going to have to ask the question, why? Like, what is so difficult, John or Marty, to say to somebody, oh, you have a significant other that's having some partners, having some challenges, let's offer you help, right? I was really discouraged, John and Marty, when I read his story that he had not one, but he had multiple employers that had no desire to work with him or his partner.
What I love about this is the fact that, and we talked about this just, a few shows back.
Yeah. Solve
a problem. He solved the problem for himself, and he realized, oh my God, I can solve this problem for others, starts a business, and bam.
Yes.
This is a perfect example. Is usually when you're solving a problem that's true to you, that's touching your heart, touching your soul, there's other people just like you. And if you can solve it for yourself, share it with the world.
Well said, John. So well said. So I would invite you guys to go find Andrew Shepard on LinkedIn. If you find yourself listening to the show right now in a situation where your employer is not being very proactive or helpful with your situation, go knock on Andrew's door. He will help you, or I'm thinking he's gonna give you some ideas for help. But as John said, he took a massive problem which was in his world and he solved it. And now he's looking to solve for everybody else. So Andrew is from Belfast, Northern Ireland, UK. He's on a mission to create more inclusive workplaces for working dads and male carriers. And guys, what I also wanted to call it out was, in my experience, we typically, this conversation is typically linked to females, in my experience, right? Where moms, you're pregnant, or you have children, you can't go back to work, it seems like employers are less flexible with our female caregivers. So the fact that Andrew was like, well, nobody's giving me help, I'm going to go do this myself. So I really wanted to shine the light on Andrew this morning and get back into our habits of shining lights on wonderful people like Andrew Shepard. And Andrew, I applaud you, man, for doing that great work for yourself and Joanne. And I applaud what you're bringing to the table. We need more human beings like you in the world, Andrew Shepard.
And brother, this whole thing kind of wraps itself together with our topic today, because for those of you that have that Sunday fright,
yes,
you're not looking to, you don't like your Monday through Friday. What's the biggest problem in your life that you can solve? And you can solve, if you solve a big problem for yourself, the odds are there are lots of other people that need that problem solved. And there is your side hustle. Start leaning on that a little bit. Next thing you know, that side hustle, you solve enough problems for other people. What you make from that will supersede what you're making at that job you don't want to go to, and life has changed.
Yes.
I like that, John. I like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, we're coming to the bottom of the hour here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith C, Marty Fit, and John Anderson. The only show to help you guys get going in the morning. We get up every single day to help you guys get up every single day to get your day going. And we're digging into the eerie feelings of resilience and how we can develop that habit of resilience. And we're gonna dig into very, very shortly here 77 Rules for Success by Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're going to dig into the first few segments today, and we're going to go through that through the entire week today. So last week, Arnold celebrated 77 years on the planet, and he offers up 77 rules for success for entrepreneurs, humans, business leaders, life-changing tactics you need to hear. So we're going to dig into that in a few moments. But before we do that, though, gentlemen, I want to lean back into our conversation we've been talking about all morning here, and I want to go back to some continued humor here. So I think that we can continue this discussion around what happens, John, Marty, what happens to your body when you stop becoming the master of your domain? No, not stop. What happens to your body when you are the master of your domain after the age of 50? Did you know in a 2022 study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, which involved 3,800 European adults with an average age, John and Marty, of 65, between 41 to 65% of men and 27 to 40% of women reported having self-stimulated the previous month. So as we get older, and Marty, I'm throwing this on the table, man, because as we get older, we don't stop taking care of ourselves.
Hold on. Self-stimulated I'm slow this morning. I'm not up to speed with what you're saying.
Yeah. So adults with an average age of 65, between 41 to 65% of men and between 27 to 40% of women with an average age of 65 took care of themselves the previous month.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, forgive me. How did I
mastering your domain?
Yeah.
Mastering
your domain. Yeah. So
now I see what we're talking about, mastering domains. There's a lot of angles we could run with that one.
Yeah, exactly. So another study published in 2022 found that being the master of your domain was an important part of a healthy sex life as you age, even if the frequency declined with time. The research noted, gentlemen, that self-stimulation increased in the absence of a spouse and contributed toward higher life satisfaction when people who are not sexually active. So,
yes, for sure. Being sexually active we were designed for that.
Yes. So being the master of your domain helps with age-related changes in your body. The body operates, Marty, on a use it or lose it model. So when you become the master of your domain, it increases blood flow, which helps support all of the tissues in that area of the body. So if you're not going to continue becoming the master of your domain, you might find yourself tightening up.
Well, this whole master in your domain thing, you should have made that a habit when you were, a teenager, and that habit should carry through your whole life. So yes. This is another healthy habit that needs to be, habit stack this if you need to, but this is something that needs to happen.
Well, John, and I purposely put this on the table today because I know you and I are what our younger listeners and younger friends are looking up towards, and we are saying to them, gentlemen, you got to get at it, man. If you want to prevent or combat prostate cancer, according to a research study by the British Journal of Urology International, flushing out toxins you ingest from food and via your lungs becomes more important as you age. So continuing to become the master of your domain into your 50s and 60s will help release those accumulated toxins and perhaps reduce the risk of developing cancer in the prostate area. So John, Marty, as you're getting older, man, don't stop taking care of your domain because you want to reduce the idea of having prostate cancer. And John,
real quick, I mean, this is beautiful information, and I love it. It's talking about how to, basically, I guess let's just go to the flip side of the equation. Yes, it's healthy. Yes, it's helps longevity. But let's talk about all the positive chemicals your body dumps into your bloodstream once you cross that mountaintop.
Yes.
You know, it's a whole, I mean, this is a part of, you know, basically our just the way we're built. We're supposed to have that brain dump of chemicals, you know?
It's true. It's true. And here's the key though, guys. Here's the big benefit. Here's the big benefit of continuing to master your domain after the age of 50. The benefit is those psychological benefits. By the time you reach your 50s, you're more confident.
I was just about to ask that, man.
Yeah, the psychological benefits, Marty, is that by the time you reach your 50s, you're more confident. You also know you know what feels good and what doesn't. Being the master of your own domain is a healthy and empowering way to keep that fire alive. So if you're battling some self-image issues, even in your 40s, 50s, 60s, continuing to be the master of yourself will be a form of self-love. Plus, since your levels of sensitivity, Johnny, may also be impacted by things that happen to your body after you turn 50, what better way, nation, than to explore those changes than with self-stimulation? Maybe you want to try different kinds of lubes or different tools because you're a little more open-minded. Some experts suggest that continuing to be the master of your domain might even have an effect on your libido. So as we wrap up this segment of the show, you're in your 30s, 40s, don't stop getting after it. Only increase the activity.
Well, and that's the thing. I think if we somehow, some way, if we just realize that, hey, let's just use this term. You're calling mastering your domain. We're talking about masturbation. Masturbation is healthy. And when people say that, oh, that's, you know, blah, 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 that I don't do, come on, be on. Everybody does this. This is a natural part of life. And the more open we are about it, the more accepted it is, more people will do it, and the healthier they'll be. That's it.
And you can't let it take over your life, though. That's the only, you know, that's
well,
what
we're not talking about watching porn doing this. We're talking about health, and you know, but I agree with you, Marty, for sure. Let your own mental Rolodex, you know, be your visuals. You start going into the freaky porn stuff. We've turned a whole now we're bringing in some negativity. We're trying to keep this
it could get bad.
Well, you know what? That made us a conversation for another show, guys, because that can be a problem for many men that are tuning in right now, right? So I'm going to wrap up the segment this way and keeping it positive, as John and Marty said. But proponents of being a master of your domain say that the end goal doesn't even have to be the climbing of the mountain per se. It can also be about making yourself feel good, or it could be about engaging in partnered self-stimulation that can be both a learning and fun exercise. So we know that being the master of your domain, we know that, you know, getting that last set brings stress relief. And for some older people, it can simply be just about that. So I would invite you, nation, as you're starting your day today, think about the fun side of it all. But like John and Marty said, don't go down the negative path. Take care of yourself. There's a lot of health benefits, a lot of psychological benefits, and a lot of other benefits you'll get by taking care of yourself. And much of it's going to have to do with your own ego. So we're going to get into later this week what happens to your body when you stop having sex.
Well, goodness, I don't think that should. I mean, based upon we just had this big talk about mastering your domain, that should never happen. I guess the question is, are you talking about sex with a partner or sex with yourself?
This is true. Enzo's going to sleep. Good night, Enzo. I'm going to keep dropping your name every few segments to keep you up here as the rest of the show proceeds here. So you have yourself a good rest there, Enzo, over there in the future. So, gentlemen, let's pivot into our first segment of the show here today, and let's pivot.
You had a good comment on the vertical stream. I think you missed it. Chance left some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Chance Coleman coming in with this one here. I like this one. So, you know, the leading cause of death currently is type 2 diabetes. Guess how you get type 2? By what you eat. No need to trust me. Look it up. And then Chase pops in with this. I like good. Chase, I love it. Why does the supermarket not offer coupons for healthy foods, but millions of coupons for highly processed foods? Well said. Americans, Canadians, anybody listening to the show, you need to wake up, right? Because they're gonna, that's a great comment. That is
big business. Keep your back big.
It is a good one. And Nam obviously comes back to his comment as well. Job is good, but establishing business is so much better. Establishing business is difficult, but all that efforts that entrepreneur put into establishing business not worth it at the end. There you go. All right, Nam. Okay, guys, let's jump into our first segment of the show today. we are going to pivot our conversation to the daily conversation. Part 1, life lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's how this is going to work. I've chopped out all 77 segments from his book. Today, we're going to lead with the first, I think, 12, 15 or so. I'm going to throw them on the table, and we're going to discuss them, all right? So first of all, guys, we know Arnold's a legend. We know Arnold's lifted a few things in his life and put them down, and we know he's also made a couple of movies in his life. And to many listening to the show, he would be considered a legend, be considered a hero, and so forth. So today, Arnold starts with this. John, Marty, number 1, the first 20 lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, 77 lessons at 77. Can you believe he's 77 years already? He's 77 years old. That's incredible to me.
Still kicking butt, man.
Yeah. Number 1. This is an obvious one, guys, but I think it just seems to, resonate so much more when it comes from the legend's mouth. Everything starts with a vision.
Yeah. I was going to say it's got to be knowing where you want to go. But he's a big connoisseur of, look, you got to know where you're actually headed or you're going nowhere.
Yeah. You have to see it, Marty, before you can achieve it. You will never regret the time you spend to develop a very clear vision. And when I see clear, I mean so clear that it plays in your mind like a movie. Yep. Before I stepped on a bodybuilding stage, Arnold says, I saw myself standing on the podium holding the trophy. It was like a memory, one that just hadn't happened yet. Marty, talk about the power of visualization and what that means to you as an athlete.
Yeah, you got to have vision, man. And Keith, one of my favorite sayings, if you wing it, you're gonna eat chicken wings.
Yeah.
So pretty much what that means is you gotta see, you gotta prepare, right? And vision is part of preparing. So you can't just wake up and just go in any direction, go with the wind, whatever happens. You can't have that mindset. So whether that's fitness, whether that's business, whether that's relationship, you got to move with intention. So vision is everything.
Yeah. 100%, brother. That's good shit. That's really good stuff, Marty. To add to that, I'm totally down with what you're saying, but I take it a little bit further in the regards that I have that vision. I put this, like Keith said, I visualize what I'm doing, and what happens is it's so clear and so detailed. It's like my brain starts releasing the chemistry, the positive chemicals of, man, this is great. Yep. Man, I want more of this. And it's a feeling that hits me. Now I'm chasing that feeling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And nobody got fit accidentally, and Keith didn't have success with ICUC accidentally. I'm sure Keith had a vision. Him and Mo had a vision, So, but I'm right there with you, John.
So it's so true. And, we have to look no further than this last weekend. We've all heard the story, seen the story of Simone Biles. Last Olympics, she had to step out and leave because she sure wasn't going to successfully, complete the last Olympics. I saw a clip of her this weekend sitting, watching her routine before she went and delivered on it. And then when she went and delivered on it, she just freaking nailed it. Right. So you can just imagine she was running through that routine over and over and over in her head. Right. And I find that such a powerful vision's a powerful thing. It's such a powerful thing. All right. Number 2, guys, put down your phone. Let your mind wander. Schwarzenegger says, I had all the time in the world. We didn't have a television. We didn't even have a telephone. My only escape from boredom was disappearing into my own thoughts and dreams. I was lucky. You aren't, he says. You have a machine in your pocket that can tell you everything about the world. Put the machine down. Don't let it tell you who you want to be. Let your mind do that. And before I stop my comment, throw it to you guys. That's one thing I love about the gym, gentlemen, is growing up, going to the gym. It was a place in the squat rack or underneath the bench. It's just you and your mind. Right, John? Because I know, we're the same age growing up. There was no devices you're carrying around, just you and your mind in the rack. Right,
brother, all that. I'm telling you, I learned more about myself in a squat rack than any other place on the planet.
Yes. Isn't that true, Marty?
No, I agree. I mean, I've definitely grown as a man in the gym, and the more I know I'm a trainer, but the more serious I get, and the more effort I put in, like squats, for instance, like I can't tell you how many times I'm gonna say, all right, I got 8 reps, I got 10 reps, and I want to quit, and like, nah, maybe I'll do 5 or 6, and it's like, nah, push through that 10. Let's get this 10. So that directly translates to other areas of my life. So you're absolutely right.
Yes. that one more mentality will go. You can apply that one more mentality anywhere in your life.
Yep.
I like that.
Even in the what do we call it? The self-mastery that even applies itself there.
Master of your domain.
Mastery. That's right. One more mentality, and when you're mastering your domain, come on, baby.
That's it.
Oh, this guy.
Gents, Arnold also says that if you don't see your vision right away, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. It's normal. You need to explore, try new things, read, meet new mentors, learn, try a new habit, pivot.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes you might not be able to see the vision, but motion is everything. You know, if you just head in that direction, something good is going to come out of it. So sometimes you just got to get in motion. You know, go to the gym. Brother. You might not know what to do, but just show up.
Yes. And even if you're moving the wrong direction, you're going to figure that out, and you'll turn yourself around. But when you're sitting there thinking about it, you know, nothing's getting figured out there.
And motion creates motivation.
Yes.
Right. So if you, as Marty said, if you're stuck, start moving. It's going to create motivation. It's perhaps going to create a vision. Next thing you know, from that movement, just get walking, get into your own head. You're probably going to find something come out of that. Gents, number 4 from Arnold. Be curious. I love this one. Be curious. Read books, read magazines, watch documentaries. Find a subject that gets you going and dive in as deep as you absolutely can. Because, Marty, John, if your vision isn't clear, curiosity at this point is your best bet. Even if it becomes clear, we never stop learning. Be curious. And I know, John, as I've gotten to know you, and Marty, you too, I every single day I wake up just trying to find more curiosity for my brain. I love being curious.
When you feed your brain, you're a happier person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're not learning, when you're not moving forward, that feeling of sitting still or complacency starts to rot you from the inside out. We're supposed to continue to evolve and learn and grow as creatures. That's progress every day is what makes a person happy, even if it's a little bit. That's the 1% rule.
I like that. Marty?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to say, you look at the people you align with and the people you don't align with, or at least this is it for me. You know, the people I align with usually have some type of vision, some type of mission, something they're working on. They have some type of purpose. And the people I don't align with, they just exist. They're just here. They're NPCs. So,
yeah, non-playable characters.
Yep. You know what the NPC is, John?
Well, the NPC in the physique world is actually the National Physique Committee. So I was waiting to hear. I was waiting to hear your version of it. So, but yeah, I mean, I got the drift of what you were saying, but it was actually interesting that it was like you had referenced a physique committee. Funny enough.
Well, I gotta make sure you're caught up sometimes, John. You know,
you're looking out for me, brother. Now just give me that button and we'll call it even.
I got you.
Pulling off Marty's comments about surrounding yourself with the right kind of people. Decide who. Number 5 from Arnold. Decide who, not
See,
who.
me and Arnold on the same page, man.
That's right. Yes. Decide who, not what you want to be. Make your vision, John, a part of your identity. Don't say, I want to be fit. Say, I want to be the type of person who can keep up with my kids and my grandkids. Or I want to be the person who everyone looks up to at the beach. Right? That's the kind of lifestyle that we live here within the lab, and with what we're trying to perpetuate to all of you. Don't say what you want to be. Say the kind of person you want to be. And then you work backwards from that statement. You're going to live a long, fulfilled life. I want to go tobogganing with my kids when I'm 75 on a mountain. Okay, well then bend over today and pick up things. Go crawling. Go do some stretching. Those little things are going to help you down the line. Johnny.
100% crazy. You ask most people, who are you? They're going to tell you what they do to earn money. Who are you? I'm a plumber. No, that's what you do. Who are you? That's because most people have never really found a purpose of who they are and monetize that. You monetize who you are, it's a whole different set of rules.
Yes. Marty.
Yeah, a lot of people lead with. I hate to do this. A lot of people lead with their career or their degree, and they're a SHITTY person.
Yep.
No personality, no morals, no ethics, and it's unfortunate. But if you tend to, a lot of successful people, they don't even mention their accomplishments. They talk about how happy they are to be a father or a mother, or what I'm saying, just things that make them outside of the career. So I agree with that.
We as humans are so worried about what others think about us. Arnold comes in with number 6 saying, don't worry about your motivation sounding silly. He says, when I talk to people in the gym, I hear all kinds of motivations. Some people get motivated to prove their naysayers wrong. Some people get motivated to look good for potential partners. Nothing that keeps you moving forward is too silly. And I want to lean into this quickly before I throw it to Marty, because I saw Marty's comments yesterday. This is the same thing with humans shaming other humans because they're not at the stage you think they should be at yet. Listen, if you're in the gym or you're out walking and you see somebody who's working hard, celebrate the fact that they're working hard. Yep. Don't put them down because they've maybe made some bad choices in their life and they've accumulated a lifestyle that they're trying to correct.
Yep.
If somebody has built a lifestyle that they're looking back upon going, I need to make some changes. Well, damn it, let's celebrate that human being. Let's not try to knock them down. I'm tired of people knocking others down. Johnny.
I totally agree with you. But for those that are trying to find your path, this is a barometer, man. When you make a choice and you start working hard on something, you're going to have people that are going to attack you. And that's a good thing. And when I say it's a good thing, it's because you're stepping outside the norm. They don't attack people like themselves sitting on the couch eating Cheetos. Yes. They attack the people that are doing stuff that make them feel like shit because they know they shouldn't be eating those Cheetos. So if they're tearing you up, the way my saying is this: if they're talking smack, you're on the right track.
Well said, man.
Another thing, one more addition to that, with me personally, if people understand my goals, I'm not shooting high enough.
Yeah.
They go, oh man, that sounds great. When I say it, they were like, you out of your mind? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Go on now. Get out the way because I'm coming through.
We talk about this one often, gentlemen, the why. Arnold talks about this one. Make sure you know the why behind your next move. That's the key point. Make sure you know the why behind your next move. He says, I hear from people all the time. I'm finishing college. I don't know what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to go to law school or graduate school so I can figure it out. And as he says, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But if you don't have the why yet, suddenly that debt that you're accumulating, you're not actually investing in your future. It's becoming a burden. So instead of doing something that fulfills you, you'll spend your life doing whatever it takes just to pay those bills. So hang on me for a second. You're sitting to yourself going, oh, I guess I should go to school because that's what my parents are saying. Or I guess I should make this choice because that's what my mentors are saying. Well, consider that choice, because if you make that choice and you finish that choice, but in 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, you're done that choice and it has nothing to do with your why. Well, as Arnold says, you're now burdened with this obligation of debt that has nothing to do with what your why is in the future. You don't want to come out of school after spending 4 or 5 years of school, accumulating $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of debt going, that really had nothing to do with my why in the first place. No, slow down, create your why. So you're not creating a bunch of unnecessary debt to get yourself out of something before you need to get towards your debt, towards your why. Arnold also talks about, gentlemen, he hears from a lot of people in their 40s and 50s that have a great family, have found success in their profession, but they still feel that they're missing something. His response to that: go volunteer. Go spend time doing things that you wouldn't consider doing. Be curious. Tutor after school program. Giving back. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. That's massive. I'm telling you right there. That I before COVID, I used to do some emceeing for one of his charity events. And he would always get up and talk, and I was get a few minutes to talk to him in person. And some of the things that he would say were so profound. And one of the things he said was, told me, I said, look, He said, you're going to get to that point where giving back and changing other people's lives is going to be more important than what you're doing for yourself. And at that point, you're going to adapt like it's a whole new level of fulfillment. And I cannot agree with how that is. I mean, when you change someone else's life, you help someone else, it's a different button you're pushing deep inside yourself.
Isn't that true? Well, and here's the next one he comes up with there, and John. None of us make it alone. Arnold's story is often came to America from an Austrian, became a successful man. He's like, I'm not a self-made man. Even though I came to America without any money, claiming I made it on my own would mean disrespecting my parents, the mentors, the early coaches, training partners, and friends like Franco, and every single person who reached out and gave me a hand when he needed it. So no matter who you are, someone helped you or laid the groundwork. Once you accept that, and gentlemen, you've heard my story all along. Like, I'm not here today by myself. I didn't build ICUC by myself. I know that I got much of the credit for it, but dudes, that is not on me, man. That is a lot of people that helps to do that, and you have a duty to help that next generation by being humble about it and recognizing that you can't do it by yourself, John and Marty.
Yeah, 100%. There's no question. If you look, there's always people behind just because the person up front is actually, getting the spotlight. There's the things that have happened behind the scenes involve lots of other supportive people, from, everything from family to wives to friends to training partners. And it's really, really nice to be grateful that you have that stuff, because without it, you probably would have had a much more difficult time to get where you wanted to go.
Yes. Marty, here's one for you, my friend. One of our younger brothers here on the show. Your vision will grow and change throughout your life. Arnold refers to Sir Edmund Hillary, the first person to climb Everest. When Hillary accomplished that, the press said to him, what was the view like from the top? And he said, I've never seen another peak before. And then what he did is he started planning his next mountain that he was going to climb. The point being is that once he found success, more doors will open. You can find yourself passionate about something you would never have ever imagined 20 years ago, because the truth is, boys, as you open up one door, more doors open. It's the oldest cliche in the world, but it's so true. Chase success, more success comes after that.
And it goes back to that, moving, you're moving, even if in success, we all know you're going to move the wrong direction sometimes, but you're still moving. You're going to move right into failures. You need those failures. That failure says, okay, just change direction, but keep on going.
Yes. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Marty Fit, and friends. John Anderson jumping in here on August 5th here on a long weekend here in Canada. We are digging into Arnold's 77 tips to live a more fulfilled life, and we're gonna talk through this throughout the whole week here. But today we're getting into the first chunk of them. And we always talk about performance here in the lab, progress, enduring and enjoying the journey. Arnold leans into this statement. The joy is not in the victory or in standing at the top of the mountain. And I can relate to that. You need to find joy in the process.
Yes. Oh, my Lord, yes. That's so. If you just sit there and stare at the finish line, what you're not staring at is the stuff that you need to be doing right now to get to that finish line. And, again, 1% better every day. You do what you got to do. You own the moments today. You do the best you can today. You go to bed tonight feeling good, and you can't wait to wake up and do it again.
Yes. Marty, how did you learn to fall in love with the process?
Sports taught me that, you shooting free throws, shooting endless 3-pointers after practice, endless conditioning, and you see how it benefits, how it pays off in the game time. So I kind of just took that and I put that into the real world as well. So even just me pouring into clients, over delivering, trying to give them more than what they pay for. When they get the result, I see how it changes their lives. I see how how happy they are. The client referrals, so more money in my pocket. Not to only be focusing on money, but it's there's an overflow. So
absolutely,
pretty much.
One thing. I'm sorry to interrupt, Keith, but I'll tell you, there's something about when you really focus on what you're doing. I know for me, one of the things that really helped me was when I would get really focused, get rid of the distractions, I would find the most peaceful place. And I couldn't wait to do it again tomorrow.
Yes.
Like the time, okay, today it's over, but I get to do it again tomorrow. And as long as, when I was a kid, there wasn't so many distractions. Now getting rid of distractions is a job. But if you can do that and you can really, really get deep in what you're doing, you're going to find a really peaceful place.
And to do that, next on the list is reps. Now you're listening to this thinking, well, no, I don't go to the gym now. No, just do reps, whether it's doing more meetings, whether it's speaking in public, whether it's reading more books, but it's doing something that you don't know if you're good at, doing it over and over. Podcasts, live shows, right?
Live shows, I'm sorry.
Whatever you work at, the more you do, the less uncomfortable with every rep you do, right? Confidence is literally the achievement of many milestones along the way. You achieve a milestone, you gain confidence. Achieve a milestone, you gain confidence. Achieve a milestone, you gain confidence, right? So putting the reps in, is the key to enjoying the progress along the way to the journey. It really is.
Yes. I love that. And here's the thing. When you're going to decide to start to do something, okay, I'm going to put the reps in, you need to own something right up front. Yes. You're going to suck at first, but that's the way it should be, because every time you do something, when you start something new, there's a learning curve. So just remember, those first few reps are not going to probably be really smooth, but that's the way it works. Accept that you're going to suck. Do your reps and watch yourself get better and enjoy that ride.
And nobody's going to remember those reps.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Oh my God, Marty, I'm sorry. Because you know why nobody's going to remember those reps? Because nobody gives a shit. Nobody's paying attention to you. They're paying attention to themselves. Nobody pays attention to us until we're doing something great. And then they're going to come and talk smack. So we're doing those first reps incognito because guess what? Nobody cares.
And, and I think it was Alex Hormozy. He basically said, like, people are going to remember you for the extreme. So they might see that you suck here, but if you're great in 5 years, they're just going to see that you're great in 5 years. They're not going to be thinking about 5 years prior to that when you were terrible.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Next up on Arnold's list of ways to make your life better, nation, discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's actually a sign to keep going. I know it's cliche. I know it's like, no. If you're feeling uncomfortable, keep going. Mm-hmm. Being uncomfortable means you are doing the right things.
Yes.
Being uncomfortable means you are growing. Hear me very clearly. Being uncomfortable means you are growing.
Yep.
Hang on that, nation. Hang on it. Because we run too quick to make ourselves comfortable. And that's okay. But I would encourage you, I go back to touching your toes, as John said last week, and Marty. If you can just hang for 4 seconds longer to pick up something on the floor and do it every single day, that feeling of uncomfortability is going to make you feel very comfortable 20, 30, 40 years down the road when you're walking with your kids up the mountain to go tobogganing. Think about it. Next one up. John, Marty, if you can make discomfort your friend, you will find that most limits you've placed on yourself or others are actually fake. Think about that one. That one.
100%, man. I mean, we're programmed into believing certain things when it's complete bunk, man. It's like if you can learn to be comfortable in very uncomfortable situations, life just opens up.
Yes.
The world becomes your playground.
Yes. Thanks, Jimmy. I was looking at the wrong camera. Next one up. Start small. Marty, do one rep of something that takes you out of your comfort zone every single day. The more reps you do, back to reps, the easier it will be to become comfortable. I'm sorry. So, do something you're not used to doing. Just do one thing and then do it again tomorrow.
Absolutely. You start small. You set a small goal. That's also going to build your confidence. We just talked about confidence.
Yes.
You hit the small goal, right? Now hit the next small goal. Now confidence keeps going up. and that way you can basically scale.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it can be the silliest little thing. If you wake up at 6 o'clock, wake up tomorrow at 5:59. 1 minute.
Yes.
It can be the littlest thing to step outside your comfort zone, but you did it. That's the drill here. Don't worry about making these quantum leaps. Just get good at getting uncomfortable. As soon as that happens, then you can start taking those bigger leaps. It'll happen by itself.
Yep.
It's interesting, Marty and John, and I'll relate this to real life business techniques. So, because we're always looking to offer nuggets to Nation, right? So I use a platform called Buffer to schedule our social media posts and get our social media posts out across the platforms. And with Buffer, you can add multi-channels. You can add 1, 2, 3, 5, as many channels as you like. So on day one, guys, I was like, okay, I'm going to do them all at once. Didn't work very well. You know what I did? I got rid of 14 of them and started at one at a time. Right? Every single week got better at one at a time. My point being is that I tried to do all these things at one time and I failed at it. So instead, I was like, okay, let's wipe 13 things off the plate and get back to being 1% better this week, get good at it, and then next week add another one. And I know, again, it's so cliche, guys, but until you break it down into our daily habits, we often overlook them. And I wanted to bring it up because it really is true. Just do one thing. Do one thing really well today. Like John said, if you're struggling to get out of bed with your alarm clock, just get up 5 minutes earlier tomorrow. Don't try to get up a full hour earlier. Just start 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
You would take one. Just take 1 minute and put that phone in the other room. Don't put it on the bedside table. That snooze will get you every time.
Yes. And on comes in, and we all should keep moving no matter what we are in the right direction or wrong direction. Staying at rest is more bad than moving in the wrong direction. And you know what, Anam? Great comment, because Arnold jumped in with this one. There's nothing more comfortable than sitting on the couch watching some great TV. But nobody has ever changed their life or changed the world from the couch.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. I love that.
That's really good.
Yes.
Next one up, boys. We got a few more to go before we wrap up today's topic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send John for a pee break. Marty's going to do the fit tip. And then we're going to wrap up the show with building resilience. Number one, train your mind and body. Next one, train your mind and body. The Romans had a saying, mens sana e corpore sano. A healthy mind is a healthy body. Very, very simple, but the mind and the body work together. We talked about it earlier. Visualization. If you're feeling strong, make yourself feel strong in the brain. Next one. If you want to help others, meet people where they are. Ronnie, if you want to help others, meet people where they are.
100%. I mean, the bottom line is the first thing we got to do is we got to learn to accept people. They are who they are. And once you do that, then you're actually going to be of service to them. When you try to pretend that someone is that they're not, you're not doing yourself or them any favors.
Yes. Last two before we wrap up this segment of the show here, and I love these two. Marty, you are going to fail. And if you do it right, you're going to fail over and over and over throughout your life. So you got to accept that now. Failure is a crucial part of success. No one has ever lifted, John, 500 pounds without failing over and over and over before they lifted 500 pounds. So Nation, as you're starting your day today, those Monday scaries, those Sunday scaries, don't be afraid of the failure that you're feeling today. Enjoy the discomfort and make failure your friend.
Yes. Thomas Edison, they say he failed 10,000 times to create the light bulb. Well, thank God he didn't quit at 9,999. We'd be sitting in a dark room.
Yeah. Yes. Never thought about that.
That's a good one.
I mean, literally, that one more mentality. We've got light.
I never thought about that. That's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Last one. And this relates back to failure, Nation. If you don't love failure, how can you love success?
They're the same.
Because it's the failures and struggles that give our success meaning. I always talk about this with love. If I'm ever having a disagreement with my kids or Lauren or anybody, you can't have love without hate or anger or disagreement. Like you can't, it just doesn't work that way. You can't have sunny skies every single day without having a storm every now and then. Right. So why should you care about winning, Marty, if you didn't know what it felt like to lose? Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that powerful, right? So, you always hear that saying in sports, right? And I look no further than to the Stanley Cup this year. Florida had to lose the Stanley Cup finals last year in order to learn how to win this year. So think about that, right? They failed at the ultimate goal last year. And could you imagine how great it felt winning this year?
Yep.
Right? That's how it all works. So there's our segment here, digging into 77 things that Arnold is life lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's our first segment.
Is that a book?
Yeah, so Arnold released it last week when he turned 77. It's an ebook. It ended up in my inbox last week. I subscribed to it. And
got you.
Yeah. So we got 77. We're going to go through them throughout the week today. We jumped into the first 20 today, and I thought I'd weave it into our discussion. Life lessons from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm thinking people tuning into the show, he's probably a legend to some of us, many of us, but the guy's done a few things in his life, and I think he's a great motivational symbol for us to stand upon here. So
absolutely.
So Marty, why don't we do this? Johnny's got to sneak away for a restroom break. We're going to do the See Marty tip, and then we're going to come back through pushing through the secret to building resilience, and that's going to wrap up our show today. So Marty, we're going to do. That's it. Johnny's out.
See you, Johnny. Let's do it, man. All right. 5 lessons working out teaches you about resilience in life and work. Let's get into it. Consistency wins. Just like in fitness, showing up every day builds progress. In work and life, consistency is key to achieving long-term goals. Embrace challenges. Tough workouts push your limits, much like challenges in life. I always say fitness is the greatest parallel to life. Facing these challenges head-on builds resilience and strength. Mind over matter. You got to have that mental toughness. Sometimes the hardest part of a workout is convincing yourself to start. You're never going to regret going in there, starting, and having a great workout. Similarly, overcoming mental blocks at work or in personal life can lead to breakthroughs. You're always going to get something good out of getting through those challenges and getting through those obstacles. Recovery is essential. Rest days are crucial for muscle recovery. Tear down the muscle tissue, it's got to repair. You need recovery and rest for that. And life, taking time to recharge prevents burnout and keeps you focused and productive. Adapt and adjust. Not every workout goes as planned, and not every life or work situation does either. Being flexible and adapting to changes helps you stay on track. Bottom line, winning in life and work starts in the gym. That's the fitness tip for today.
It starts in the gym. It absolutely starts in the gym. And G Stylo, I see your comment, dude. I love it. Let's put it up on the screen here today. What kind of self-help pamphlet at the rehab center is this drivel? I'll tell you what it is. It's drivel from our friend Arnold. Did you guys base an entire podcast on the synopsis on the back of a Better Living book at the local library? Absolutely, we did. Yes, we did. And
brother.
And what did Johnny say? What would you say if somebody's what was your comment earlier? What's the attack one you said if somebody's something?
Oh, if they're talking smack, you're on the right track.
Yeah, baby.
G style? Looks like you're throwing some turds, brother. We love it. Keep it coming.
We love it, my friend. We love it. So what we did, G Stylo, is that we sat down with some young man named Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's done a couple of things in his life, and we said, okay, let's take this book that Arnold created, and he created 77 tips to help you live a better life. And we thought, hey, let's put them on the table and talk about them here today. So that is what we did here, G Styles. So we love your love. We love the comments. And I love the fact, pal, you sat down for probably about a minute out of your day and you decided, hey, I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to put on my phone, and I'm going to type out a couple hundred words. Like you gave myself, John and Marty, a few minutes, man. Love it. Come back tomorrow. Come back the next day. Tell your friends how motivated you were to pull your phone out and leave us a positive comment. G Stylo. Llove having you.
I typed in G Stylo in Google and YouTube, and can't find anything. So,
but G style. Did I read that wrong? Or did he throw a turd? Did he throw a turd, or what's up?
He threw a turd.
That's what I thought.
I'm not sure what G Stylo has created. So how's he going to criticize us for creating something? So,
well, brother,
hey, appreciate you joining, G Stylo.
Yeah, listen, man. Just whatever. As long as you're pushing buttons on that phone that's connected to us, we love it. Come on, baby.
Yeah, thanks, G.
Thanks, G. All right, the last segment of the show here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith C. Marty Fit, John Anderson. We are here to have fun with all of you guys to get your day going. We love everything you give at us. So give us good, give us bad. What we know is this: we're showing up, and we know.
Give it to us, baby.
Just give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Isn't that what's that song? Is that? Oh yeah, it's all the pretty guys saying that dun 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 dun.
Yeah, no? I know the song, but I knew it only because of the beginning part. Once you went into the dun duns, I didn't know what was going on anymore.
Oh, good thing we're not on the radio airwaves in North America. They'd be turning us off here. So, hey, pushing through. The secret to building resilience. Johnny, Marty, the core of resilience, understanding and defining resilience. What does resilience truly mean behind the buzzword? Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. Not just surviving, but thriving despite challenges. It involves adaptability and mental toughness. The science behind resilience, guys, is the psychological and physiological aspects, the coping mechanisms, the emotional regulation. Coming to you first, John. When you think of resilience, what do you think of resilience, and how have you wove that into your life, and how have you learned to adapt resilience to make you stronger as a human being? And then Marty, I'm going to come to you next. Johnny.
Well, first off, I'm going to just, you know me, I love to simplify things. So I'm going to simplify all of what Keith just said, because some of you guys that may got a little complex. Resilience to me is this. You just got to stand up one more time and you fall down.
Yeah.
And if you live in that moment, like, oftentimes, man, it's like getting up, it's gonna suck. And I tell myself all that little voice, no, just stay down here. You're comfortable. You're gonna say, you know what? It's gonna suck, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So resilience, my definition, all you got to do is stand up one more time, then you fall down and you are going to be okay. Now, weaving that into my life, that's my whole life. I take pride in the fact that I will get up no matter how hard I get kicked in the nuts. I will find my way back to my feet, and that feels good.
Yeah, yeah. Marty?
Definitely, John. And I look at it like this. We're all here today. So chances are we got through something tough.
Yep.
We got through something difficult, right? So if you got through something difficult before, you can get through something difficult again. So just bouncing back from adversity is just part of life. And, you know, something I've learned as a man, I said it a couple of days ago. I think I said it last week, but you're either in a storm or a storm is on the way. So just embrace that. Just embrace it, and the more you embrace it, the more you'll be able to see success in your future, I guess I can say. So,
Jen, so there's these common misconceptions and myths around resilience. Let's debunk them. So there's resilience means not feeling pain, but the reality is resilience involves experience and working through pain. It's not about being unaffected. It's about effective recovery. John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%. I think all of these wives' tales and myths around these different, I guess you'd say, elements of life that are so important. It's the people that don't want to do it. They come up with this weird shit to say so they don't have to stand up again. Yeah. When it comes down to it, it's you boil it down, it's pretty simple. You know, it's going to suck, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And I was going to say, it's kind of like a trend now where people are like, I'm tired of the grind. You know, aren't y'all tired of working hard? You not tired of this? We working 40, 50 hours a week, getting nothing out of it. And but in my opinion, that's what makes life beautiful, you know, because you're going to get something out of it, right? You're going to get something out of the grind, but that's why you got to have a why and a purpose, kind of like what we talked about earlier.
Yes. Well, and Marty, that plays upon the difference between resilience and simply enduring. Enduring is pushing through without addressing underlying issues. Resilience is actively coping, learning, and growing from experiences. Gentlemen, endurance is passive. Resilience is proactive. Think about that. So if you are always moving forward, we talk about movement. If you're always moving forward, you're being proactive. You are creating resilience within yourself. And then lastly, gentlemen, we're around myths and misconceptions of resilience. The role of vulnerability in being resilient. Vulnerability is the key to authentic connection and self-awareness, where acknowledging struggles is essential for personal growth. Sharing challenges can strengthen support systems. So being resilient is another way to help yourself being vulnerable. So let's talk about the building blocks of resilience. John, I know as we've gotten to know you on the show and as Marty is let the audience get to know him, we talk about the mindset and the perspective, how mindset shapes our ability to bounce back. Talk about all the times, John, you have failed and you've had to bounce back to build that resilience.
100%. I mean, you just, first off, when you pursue failure, it's a game changer. You understand that failure is like the gatekeeper to success. So
Yes.
you just got to start chasing failure, because all of a sudden, one of these times you think you're going to fall and you realize, oh, I didn't fall. I actually leveled up. But you're not going to find that position unless you start pursuing failure. Fail fast. Don't wait to fail. You're not going to get what you want without failing. Accept it, own it, move forward, and basically go get what you want, because the front door to success is failure.
Yes, yes, yes. Marty, is resilience always a good thing?
Absolutely. Now, it's not a good thing when you're going through it or when you're going through the adversity. It's not going to feel good. You know, it might feel like the end of the world. You might got to be angry, cry, yell, say a cuss word. But, you know, there's always something good on the other side. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
The cost of being too resilient, when resilient leads to burnout, the societal pressure on being resilient, balancing resilient with self-help care. Oh, you got to grind through it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And then, or overcoming toxic positivity, the fine line between resilience and ignoring real issues, John.
You know, I'll tell you, I say this all the time. Don't let the people around you convince you something is difficult. You decide, you set your own standard. Just because they say it's difficult doesn't mean it's difficult. When most people say something's hard, I think, well, it's hard for you. And it's only hard for you because you haven't pushed into it yet. So it's really, you know, it's almost like you have to understand that you have the ability to do what you choose. You've just been programmed to believe some things that are really not helping you.
Well, I was going to say, most people aren't even consistent enough to see that something isn't difficult. They don't even have the mental toughness to get through something to see that it's not difficult. So you can't listen to them.
That's well said, Marty. How about this though, Marty? How does the stay strong mentality invalidate someone's genuine concerns or genuine struggles? Perhaps too often we're like, well, no, Johnny, just tough it out. Marty, come on, tough it out, tough it out. Come on, man. You're just being a pussy right now. Come on, tough it out. How does that stay strong mentality invalidate how you perhaps are feeling?
Well, that's a good one, because, you know, when it comes down to tough it out, you got to kind of decide, are you toughing it out for what reason? Like for me personally, when I say I'm going to do something, I got to tough it out, because if I don't honor that word to myself, I'm in trouble. Sometimes I realize, you know what, toughing it out in this situation really is not going to help me much in what I'm trying to achieve, but it's going to keep me where I need to be right here.
Marty?
Yeah, so if I'm looking at it through the perspective of a leader, right, that's where I can be vulnerable, right, and I can let people know, hey, I've been through this, or, you know, such and such went through this, and this is what they were feeling, this is how they got through it, this is what helped them. And so if I feel like I am invalidating someone's feelings, you know, with positivity or stay strong, you know, I try to just meet them at their level, meet them where they are.
I like to lean into the why, right? So, you know, if I'm choosing to tough it out, quote unquote, what's the why which enables me to continue attempting to tough it out?
Yeah.
And then asking myself that if I'm going to fail during that exercise, as long as it's meeting my why, I'm okay toughing it out. Because in my mind, at least I've tried. Instead of accepting that I can't do it, or accepting that I'm not going to do it, or accepting that I'm just going to be soft and not try to do it. No, I'm going to try to do it because here's my goal. And I'm going to accept that failure might be a part of that experience.
Yep.
Right. And as long as those things are happening, I'm going at it and I'm going to tough it out.
Yep.
Right. I think, it's interesting because we talk often, right? The societal changes. I'll look at you, John, in our demographic of, we should be talking about feelings, not toughing it out. Well, no. If the why is tough, go. Feelings are important. I want you to be vulnerable. Your feelings are important. But if your why is this, then tough it out and go, man. Let's go. Chop.
I mean, the why is so important, and I think a big issue for so many people is they have not discovered their why yet. Just like one of the key points that Arnold was saying is be curious, discover, find out what drives you, find your why. Well, that why comes into the equation and the whole formula changes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Just got a funny comment here. I got to pull this up here, guys. So Joe Waters comes in. This is awesome. Keith is the worst male name in the English language according to the Family Guy. That is awesome. I officially have the worst name in morning radio, morning talk show. That's awesome. I love Joe Waters. Can you bring some more of that humor to the show? And I'm really thankful that Joe has a belly button too, boys.
Well, I was going to say he superseded that insult to you by proclaiming his belly button. So I think it's, listen, I say this with love, Joe. Might be a little nutty, but we love you anyway.
Oh, I love it. And Wing Mindset, God bless you as well, pal. We appreciate you joining the show today. So, guys, we're going to wrap up our conversation on resilience as we work towards wrapping up the show. Listen, resilience is a nuanced trait. It's both positive. It potentially can be negative. It involves both enduring hardships and knowing when to adapt or let go. I think what's most important is the key point we want to leave you here is that it's essential to balance resilience with self-care, vulnerability, and acceptance. And as Marty has said before, surrounding yourself with the right people is going to help you through those moments where you're asking yourself, what is your why? And you're trying to take yourself and be resilient through a situation. Right. So resilience is a funny one. It's really funny one because it deals so much with, what's going on back to your why. And if your why is sorted out, I think resilience becomes much easier for all of us.
Yes.
Agreed. So, what a great show here today, guys. We started a conversation around some fun topics around what men need to do to keep themselves better. We talked about mastering our domain. We talked about tips from Arnold Schwarzenegger on how to live a great life. We dug into accountability check-in on those bad days like today when it's a Monday and you're scared of Monday and tackling the week. We got into the Marty Fit tip. And then, of course, we dug into conversations around resilience. As we look to wrapping up the show today, Johnny, what do you take from today's show as we wrap it up today, pal?
Well, I think I love this. This whole show kind of leans into a lot of the stuff we talk about. It's basically just understanding that getting uncomfortable, facing some failures, getting up one more time than you fell down. This is the stuff right here that people don't talk about enough. And when you realize that some of this, like, failure is okay. When people start to flip the script and how they look at failure, life will change. So whatever you took away from today's show, any one of these little tidbits can be really life-changing. Yes.
I know what Marty took away from the show was what Lauren said is that I was singing some Offspring. Pretty fly for a white guy. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I love it. Well, we know for sure we're not going to turn this show into a rock band.
It's just the boy band hour. Mornings in the lab with Keith C. Marty Fit and the Crickets and Johnny Anderson here. We go live Monday to Friday right here, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, all over the planet. 8 o'clock Eastern time. We go for as long as we need to go. We bring topics to the table that help you guys get your day going. We talk about accountability, business, entrepreneurship, fitness, lifestyle, wellness, nutrition. We talk
mastering
about mastering domains and so forth. Marty, what did you take from today's show, pal? You're the young one on the show here today, and we were talking about all the things that you need to look forward to as you grow up.
I'll keep it professional. No, it was cool to hear Arnold.
Oh man,
it was cool to hear Arnold open up, be a little vulnerable, and knowing that he experienced some things I'm going through that I've learned in my 30 years on this planet. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll be back here tomorrow morning, Nation, 8:00 Eastern time, with more fun topics to keep you guys moving, more fun topics to keep you wondering what we're going to say next. The ambition of the show is to create it fun, make it unpredictable, make you want to tune in at 8:00 Eastern time and say, geez, what the hell is Anderson saying next? What the hell is Bilous going to say next? And what is Marty going to shake his head at next? So,
what is Marty going to roll back on the couch because John and Keith said something? He's having a heck of a time digesting.
That's it. And I just got so producer Jimmy came in with he's saving Uncle Keith here on the show, gents. Keith is a masculine name of Scottish origin to help connect baby with the earth. Historically used as a last name, it translates to woodland or forest. While this name is sure to help baby appreciate their Scottish roots, it also makes for a beautiful choice to inspire baby trees-hugging traits. Whether baby prefers to climb up the trunks or relax under the shades, the name Keith will remind them of how glorious the great outdoors are.
You know what, brother? What I say to that whole thing about a name is, I say, you can call me whatever the hell you want to. Just get out of my way.
That's it. Just get out of my way. Marty, let's get out of Anderson's way. I'm going to get out of your way, Marty. We'll see you guys later today. Johnny, have a good one, pal.
Let's go, brother. Great day ahead. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Marty, have a great day, pal. Good show today, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, and I will talk to you guys throughout the day today. We'll see you later, Nation.
Good.
All right, guys.
Let's go.
Oh, where's that sound effect? Not that one. I want to put this. That one. See you guys later.
Yeah.